So Doc Rivers was mic'd up during a practice for the Sixers, and I think it was on NBA TV, like during training camp or whatever. And he was talking to James Harden, it was an awesome clip. In fact, let me play this clip real quick. Listen to this.
What I got to get y'all right on is when to roll, when to pop, when you got the ice. And that's what I was saying. You and him, y'all got to get a communication where y'all listen to each other, right? If you want it, like I thought that last 3 or 4 times you wanted it. We got to get you in what you want. Like, you can't just say you're a facilitator. I need you to be a scorer and a facilitator. And it's going to take time figuring it out. But we need you to be the aggressive James that you were those last 5 minutes. Yeah. And it's going to come. It's going to take a while. But when it clicks, James, we're going to be unbeatable.
I think they can be really, really good. Really good. Great, even. They have the makings for, I think, a great team if James Harden gets back to being great. James Harden has to get back to scoring the ball. I think they have established that Joel Embiid is their best player. He's a yearly MVP candidate right now. He's in his prime. He's one of the top 2 big men in the NBA. So, as Doc said, they need Joel established, but they also need James Harden established. This should be the best duo in the NBA. This could be the best duo in the NBA. They were making Kobe Shaq comparisons when James Harden was going to Philly. I mean, as a duo, they need to be dominant. The only way you don't need a big 3 is if your big 2 is surrounded by the kind of players that Philadelphia has. Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker. Those are the kind of players you need, because they all make for together. They make a third player. If you want to say Maxey is their third out of the big 3, or Harris, whatever, like it doesn't matter at that point. They can be interchangeable, which is what you need when you have a big 2. Joel Embiid played 68 games last year. MVP candidate. Averaged 30 and 11. 68 games is the most games he's played in his career so far. He's right in his dominant prime. James Harden is not in his dominant prime. And I've said he doesn't have to be dominant, but he does have to be elite. 18-5 or 18-7 isn't going to get the Sixers a championship, I don't think. They could win 60 games. They could win 65 games if James Harden is tapped in. Tyrese Maxey this year is going to go to another level. Let it happen naturally. I love how he works with James Harden, because everything with Maxey, his development is going to happen naturally. I saw a clip with Doc Rivers talking to Maxey, basically telling him the same thing as Harden. Not the same exact thing. It was a different kind of conversation, but he's basically telling Maxey, like, yo, when you get the ball, go. You push the ball. You get into action. You. Like, you make stuff happen. Because, like, James and Joel, we're going to get them established. They're going to get theirs. They're going to be established. You got to be able to get yourself going. So Maxey is getting that energy from Doc. Maxey is going to have some big games this year for Philly. And I think they're going to be really, really good. But I think they'll only be as great ultimately as James Harden takes them, as James Harden allows them to be at lead guard. There's so much talent now in the East. You just added Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland. Boston is going to come back strong. Miami's going to come back strong. You've got Milwaukee coming back strong. And then you've got Philly in the mix. So, I mean, James Harden and Joel Embiid should be enough to overtake, and with their supporting cast, should be enough to take Giannis and his supporting cast. That should be enough. Like, I would love to see a Sixers-Bucks series with everyone healthy. Philly, Milwaukee, Boston, and Miami. Those are your 4 top tier teams in the East. Those are probably going to be the top 4 teams in whatever order. But I don't know that I'm putting Philly like above, like definitely above Milwaukee or Miami or even Boston, unless I know that James Harden is about to tap in. That's the only way I would know. If James Harden is about to be an elite guard again, not just a facilitator and not just like being good, but like being great again. Again, he doesn't have to dominate, but he's gotta get back to a really high level on offense. He's got a little more help, I think. That clip with Doc is huge because he understands that he really needs Harden and Embiid on the same page. They really do have to have an understanding of each other. When one needs the ball, when one needs a ball screen, when we do go 2-man game, like what's the vibe? What do you like? That really does need to establish itself. There's so much potential there. I just think so much of it is really on James Harden to make it work. Like he still has to get back to that mode for them to win a championship. The roster is built for him to still cook and be that. So he's got to be that, and it can't just be Joel Embiid being dominant and James Harden just being another guard. He's got to get back into that mode if Philly is gonna win the East and be taken seriously as a contender.